let's safely cut some toe kicks.
Want to go 4.5 inches up. I'm just going to go 4.5 inches up. Once I get my first toe kick cut out, my first panel, I'll be able to just use it as a template to mark the others. Not only that, but once I get my fence set to where I need it, I can just cut all the ones that I need to slice out, do all the verticals, and then all the horizontal cuts all at once. That way I'm not making any inconsistencies. Remember, consistencies are what you want to go by. So you want to try to be as consistent as possible so that when everything goes together, you end up with a uniform looking piece. Lightly pencil in my lines so I know exactly where they are. And then from there, I should be able to adjust the fence so that I'm making the safe cut first, and then finally cutting out the notch so the discard piece falls off the non-fence side of the blade. You want to make sure you're cutting on the front side of your panel. The only thing right now is distinguishing the front from the back really is your rabbet that's on the back side of your panel, so it's really important to keep your labeling straight. Otherwise you might cut the toe kick out on the back side. A cut like this, you always want to turn your saw off and make sure the blade is stopped before you pull it back so you don't get any kickbacks. I stopped short of this line, which will be my next cut, but I'm not going to adjust my fence yet. I'm going to make all the other right side panel cuts first because it'll keep this consistent. The other thing that I'm going to do is I've got my board cutting exactly how far I want it to go. I'm going to put in a stock block here so it makes it easier for me to stop this before I go too far. That way I can easily stop it. I'm going to back it up just a little bit and I'm going to clamp the stop block in here so that it will hold it and prevent the panel from going into the saw too much. Takes a lot of the guesswork out of how far do I need to push this in. Oh, I hit my stop block. Now we need to make this cut. In order to make that cut, we need to move the fence over to make the exact same cut, and that piece will drop out. When we make that adjustment right now, we'll have to move our stop block in the process, because our stop block is set to only allow us to go in 3 inches. This time we need it to go in 4.5 inches. So we'll have to move our stop block back a little bit. We'll get that set up here in a second. Now for this, we're going to measure from this edge, which is our back edge, to our front edge, right where this needs to be. The blade needs to cut on this side of the line to give it 3 inches. If you cut on this side of the line, you're going to have more than 3 inches. What you should be able to see is when I run the back side of the panel up against the fence, the blade should cut on this side of the line. This piece essentially just drops off. It's not trapped by the fence, and there's less chance of injury. So as you can see, this piece isn't trapped. You can simply fall away. I've got a little bit of an edge right there that I can trim up with a handsaw. Now what I'm going to do is, since I've got this piece positioned exactly how I want it, I'm going to put my stop block in. So I'm just going to butt my stop block right up against here. I'm actually going to tap this back just a little bit. Creates a nice cleaner cut there without the chance of going too far into the side. Now, because my saw is only capable of ripping 24 on this side and 12 on this side with the fence, I don't want to put the fence here because it does exactly what I said it would do. It gets this piece between the blade and the fence. Unfortunately, there's no way to get around that with this piece. Even if I go this way, last, if I had already ripped this piece, say I had the fence here, I ripped this piece, and then I to do this piece, I'd have to put the piece over there still because I don't have the room over here. I'd end up still between the blade and the fence, which is dangerous. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to eyeball it. Just kidding. I either have to use my panel sled and cut this, or I need to clamp on something that only goes up to about here, that's a straight edge, so I can run it along there and this will drop off without hitting it. For speed, I'll probably just use my panel sled. My panel sled is this monster looking contraption that will ride on this side here, but has a long enough slide that goes in the track to prevent it from straying off to the side. This piece literally drops off right there beside that, nothing trapping it from there, so it can just fall right off and move out of the way. This edge to here should be 4.5 inches. So that's another way I can tell exactly how far I need to go. As long as this edge right here is 4.5 inches from there, if I put a little mark here at 4.5, I know exactly where it needs to line up over there. Like I said, this is 4.5. This is also 4.5 because my panel sled has an extra long square edge. I can clamp a stop block right here so I can just slide it in and create really consistent pieces. So here is the piece cut with the stop block. You can see the stop block there. And then as I pan the camera over to here, you can see it cut right to where I needed. There's a little bitty hair edge right there that I'll clean up with a handsaw. Piece drops down right there, out of the way, no chance of kickback or flyback. Consistent stop blocks are and width and setting your fence to the exact same measurement. These are all the blocks out of one side and they're virtually all smooth across here as well as all along here. These are the blocks out of the other sides using fence and my panel sled. There's a little bit of discrepancy on a few, like this one's a little short, this one's a little long, and really it probably isn't even that much because if you look over here on this side, you see where they're sticking out some. The quality of using stop blocks and just cutting and duplicating the same cuts over and over again improve your quality versus having to stop, reset your fence each time, adjust between, just so that you can finish one piece at a time. You waste a lot of time. You end up with quality that isn't as good, but by cutting everything that you need to cut the same way, you end up much better, and then you move off to the next piece that you have to cut a different way, and you just keep repeating over and over and over again.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.